Hello, how is it going? Gennaro here, CEO of Cortex Solutions. Welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about reverse engineering. Let's get right into it. So as we know, reverse engineering, this is going to be essential. This is going to help you break down and understand, software. Understand, especially if we're talking about malware, understanding the, ins and outs of it. Because, being able to disassemble and compile, right? These are ways to understand the program itself, what algorithms are being utilized, identifying security flaws, being able to extract data if need be. So knowing how to do this, knowing how the actual software is coded and how it's organized, this is going to help you understand at a fundamental level how coding works. So some of the tools they can utilize, and we talked about malware analysis, so just think about like IDAPRO. Again, these are one of the things you can do. Hex editors allow you to, edit the actual raw binary within the file itself. These are very, very crucial tools that you can utilize to help in reverse engineering. So some of the steps, and we talked about it before, static and dynamic analysis. Then you have your code level analysis. We didn't really touch too deep on that, but digging into, just a little bit deeper than just your normal analysis. This basically helps you identify the assembly instructions, right? What loops, what functions, what dependencies that are in need, right? So for instance, right, if you needed to understand the code behind ransomware, you can do that with code level analysis. So some of the key reverse engineering techniques, binary analysis and analyzing the actual binary executable, the signature matching too. So we talked about how a lot of times when you do use like VirusTotal, right, you're going to be sending this potential malware to the system and then it's going to search for signatures, okay? So identifying that and understanding that these are key core fundamentals that you can utilize to understand what's actually happening here as well too. There is always going to be some form of ethical or legal consideration, right? Because again, if you're looking at the aspect of, ensuring that the reverse engineering techniques and the exercises that you are doing, that it aligns with the ethical practices, and if we're talking about HIPAA, GDPR, right? And understanding that if you do have software, there are going to be contracts involved in this. Being able to understand the analyzation of malware itself, we can only really do it if it's, allowed. So when you're doing it, make sure it's not prohibited. Make sure that if you are understanding the different legalities, I should say, of it, that you do so in a way that it's not affecting any form of, contracts that you have in place as well, too. Now let's talk about application piece. How can we actually apply this? So analyzing ransomware encryption, for instance. So the scenario here is that a company's files are encrypted by ransomware demanding a payment, because that's what happens. So the approach to this is you can use a dynamic debugger to examine the decryption routine, right, that's embedded in the actual malware. How powerful is that? Because the outcome is going to be the decryption of the withheld files without paying the ransom. Because think about it. If you didn't know how to do this, you would just pay the ransom. But if you knew how to use a dynamic debugger, you can have an answer to your problems. Again, Gennaro, CEO of Cortex Solutions. It's been great, guys. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Take care. We talked about the use of reverse engineering. Brought to you by ACSMI. Hope you have a good one. Take care.